Yeah, I don't think most women got to worry about it, because if you're measuring most men who actually acquire wealth, it's 45, 50 plus on average. If you're talking about a specific demographic, entertainers and stuff, that's an anomaly on an anomaly. But most men that are actually wealthy are old. They're in their senior citizen, middle age range. They're not really attractive to a wide demographic of women just off the strength of him being himself.
Many women are told to marry a financially stable man. Is chasing money hurting the real connection in modern dating?
Right. And then that goes back to what she was saying, what does financially stable look like to you? Because let's say he has a 1-bedroom apartment and, he's making enough money to sustain his 1-bedroom apartment and, he's good. He's stable in his sense. But then, like, if he's dealing with a woman who has a house, she may not view him as financially stable. So it depends.
But he could be in that 1-bedroom. Is he financially stable to take on another person? He can just be living below his means.
Facts.
Never know. He might be having 100K somewhere in the 401k, RIA, all that stuff. So,
like financial stability is not like like y'all saying, one fixed number, right, or lifestyle. It depends on the person's responsibilities, their expectations, and obviously who they dating. Mm-hmm. I think I know some military financial stable people that live way below their means. But most women probably wouldn't date them, probably because they would assume based off of looks that they're not, they're not stable.
To the bag, yeah.
Right.
A lot of women equate financial stability to material listed things.
Mm-hmm. Not knowing those are the brokest people, because you spend all your money on looking good.
Facts.
It means nothing. What, Chris Rock still in his Toyota Corolla or something like that? Like, and you see how much he make. Adam Sandler, like, come on.
Yeah, if you would have ever seen Adam Sandler walking down the street, you would not think that, oh, that nigga got money.
Yeah. Like you said, it's equated to materialistic. And like, oh, you got to look good. Not for nothing. You should still look. Like, you should at least be presentable. Haircut, you know what I mean? Nail shaped up or something like that. Be presentable. I'm not saying you got to be walking around here with every Louis Gucci down this. Because my first thought when I see things like that, I'm like, you're broke. Your debt to income ratio is probably through the roof. Mm-hmm. I see an extreme luxury car. I'm like, yeah, your payment is probably like a good $2,000, and your insurance is probably $1,000 alone. Yeah.
Go ahead, Drew. You about to say something? Oh. Okay. I got another question. Are wealthy men less loyal in relationships because they have too many options?
No.
Yes.
It depends on the characteristic of the man himself. How much discipline does he have?
Yes.
We could say yes and we can say no. We can say yes because of all the options they have. But if he's a thoroughly disciplined man, those options mean nothing to you because of your discipline.
That's only if he has the discipline that you guys are talking about, or what you consider discipline. And the problem that you guys have is that what y'all think is discipline is not what made that man disciplined or what made him rich. So a guy who is disciplined, his discipline be like, you know what? If I only fuck one woman a month, that means I'm fucking 12 women a year. So that's 343 days, or yeah, right? 43 days where I'm faithful. I'm 98% faithful. To him, that may still be discipline. So like you'd have to ask, like we have to not ask, but take in consideration what being disciplined means to him.
No, like you said, we have to ask. What is your definition of discipline? Because if it's one woman per month, you're out the door. Absolutely.
So you're out the door. He doesn't qualify, baby. You'd have an issue with that. There are a lot of women who would deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I said, like you said, it goes off a definition of discipline.
So I would think that men are as loyal as how they define loyal. I don't think that a guy that has unlimited, he has the same sexual access to the women as the women that he's attracted to do. I mean, he had to earn his, so he's probably going to want to utilize that or leverage that access at some point, whether or not it be, on a trip and he just bend somebody over a balcony, go back home to his family. Like, it doesn't matter because he just was with her for that moment. But
I think sometimes people assume that men with resources are automatically less loyal because they have more opportunities. But I think that opportunity doesn't create behavior; it just reveals your character. Like y'all basically saying though, that was already there, whether you had the money or not. But
I don't think
if they look at it differently though, that's what I'm saying. Y'all are women, so all of y'all feel like y'all should have your own man, and you think that everyone you should have your own man, and not have to share one.
right.
And then you also think you should have one of the rarest men in the world. You all want one and not have to share him either. Those men don't think that way. It's like, well, I want one woman to invest in, to build with, but a lot of these guys, them fucking somebody else doesn't take away from how they feel about their family. And a lot of them agree to be monogamous out of respect for their women. However, when they are alone or when they're surrounded by these certain types, Melissa Ford in her prime,
Women, yeah, you don't know what might happen.
everybody's getting fucked.
Yeah, I don't think most women got to worry about it, because if you're measuring most men who actually acquire wealth, it's 45, 50 plus on average. If you're talking about a specific demographic, entertainers and stuff, that's an anomaly on an anomaly. But most men that are actually wealthy are old. They're in their senior citizen, middle age range. They're not really attractive to a wide demographic of women just off the strength of him being himself. You'd have to see him attached to whatever he's acquired. And then in that case, yeah, typically they, hire out, source out intimacy at times. That's just kind of how that goes. And I don't know. I think you would be more productive as a woman, just maintaining your position and keeping whatever is under your purview managed.
Yeah.
That's just my.
Also, I just feel like. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I know plenty of poor people and I know plenty of millionaires. And I really don't think it makes a difference. If they're gonna cheat, they're gonna cheat.
I was about to say, because it'd be the
I know
brokers
people who
all the
literally
time.
I literally know people who have, like, we all know people who
Listen,
homosexuals who, because they look good, swing good, all the things, they can swing it everywhere they want to. Okay. And we all done ran into a couple of you. Be like, wait, what he just, what girl? What?
You know how many homeless men are in the world just swinging it so they can get someplace to sleep? Come on.
Right. I think the reasoning, right? We kind of look at the reasoning like, oh, if he wasn't this wealthy, he wouldn't be a cheater. I know plenty of ugly cheaters who are broke, because there are still going to be other ugly people who want to sleep with them because they see them as desirable because they have somebody. There are little people out there who only like people who are taken. And like, you know what I mean? So I don't really think money plays that big of a role for a majority of the people. I mean, like, you know what I mean? When I really look at it and really start comparing people, if you want to do it, you're going to do it. Like, they like, oh, the internet. Yeah, but back in the day, they were sleeping with the secretary or your sister or your neighbor. Now they're doing it with their old high school friends that they hooked up back with on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Most women like taking men because you get an example of what the finished product looks like. Mm-hmm. The taken man, you see him loving his wife out loud, doing all this dope shit. She's always dressed well. She's taken care of. She's kept. It makes every woman be like, oh, that's nice. I'm happy for her. But then it makes some of y'all say, ooh, I wish I had that. And then the trifling part of the rest of y'all will be like, I'm gonna go try and get that. It's not there, but there's nothing wrong 100%. With being. There's nothing wrong with being like with admiring a woman, like another kept woman, and liking. I like seeing dudes take care of their girl. I'm like, that's what I want to do. Like, I like that. That is dope to me. I just also don't think like, well, I got my money that nigga, so I should go fuck his bitch either. I just don't. Right. I stop there.